divorce is a legal procedure by which the couples decide to put their marriage to an end when they determine that they cannot live together or they want to separate their paths. In such situation, the couple will have to decide on a couple of things, such as if they have minor children, as to who is going to have the custody of the child, how they are going to manage the visitation rights, such as how much time will the couple spend with the child, or how the child will spend time with their parents, who's going to cover the medical bills, how the education will be supported. In such situation, they will have to consider how much property they have, how they will divide the property. All these things has to be considered prior to initiating a divorce. Divorce can be obtained through mutual consent. In case of the mutual consent, both the spouses comes to an agreement as to who's going to have the custody of the child, how they are going to manage visitation rights, how they will support the education of the child, and how they will cover the medical bills. In such situation, these things are to be considered by both the spouses. And to initiate a divorce, it can be done with the claim of the property or without the claim of the property. In the mutual consent divorce, when the judge will ask a question to the couples, if one of the couples has waived the property right, then the judge will also question about that, whether the wife has really waived the property right, and this can be done in 2 working days. Advantage of mutual consent divorce: when both the parties agree to have a divorce based on mutual consent, then they have certain advantages, definitely. One is, it's going to take 2 working days to obtain a divorce certificate. They will have to file a joint petition, which then will be registered in the court. Then the court will examine all the petition along with the supporting documents. The judge will also examine the documents. If has any question, will question both the parties. Once all the requirements has been satisfied, the judge will then sign the petition, and finally a divorce certificate will be issued. Number 2, low expense. In case of mutual consent, the parties will not have to hire a lawyer for a long time, because this is going to be finished in 2 working days. If it goes to a trial, then the lawyer has to be hired. So this will cost a lot of money, and also a lot of time will be consumed, because the case will take a long time to get a closure. And third, less mental stress. Since it closes within 2 working days, it will not take a lot of stress. Divorce, that is when there is no consent between the spouses, then either of the spouses can file a divorce petition before the court. In case the husband files a divorce petition before the court, and the wife disagrees, in such situation the court will take an application, then try to reconcile between the husband and wife. In order to do so, the court will then refer the case to the mediation center. Then in the mediation center, the mediator will be appointed, that will be chosen by the spouses. So by doing this, the court is trying to basically give an opportunity to both the spouses to resolve their disputes through mutual consent. But in case that the dispute cannot be resolved for a year, the time period will be given for a year, and if the disputes cannot be resolved, then the court will issue an order and grant a divorce. The wife lives separately or has been living separately since 3 years or longer period without the consent of the husband. Second, if the wife is found to have maintained sexual relationship or extra marital affairs outside of the marriage. Third, if the wife inflicts physical or mental torture against the husband. Fourth, if the wife evicts husband from the house and does not provide food and shelter. If there has been legal division of the property between the spouses, and by doing so the spouses choose to live separately. When you file for a divorce, once the petition is filed before the court, then the court will serve the notice to the other party so that the other party can provide response. While doing so, both the parties will have to provide details of the property, how much property they have, how much debt they incur. All these things has to be included while they file a petition, as well as when the response to the petition is filed. Once the court receives all these documents, then the court will then goes on to issue an order. Court can examine the evidence. So this is the order to examine the evidence. The trial will be followed, where the court will issue an order until the final decision of the divorce is provided or delivered. The court will issue a temporary order of maintenance or alimony, so that the petitioner can have the right, or can have, so that she can live with that alimony money for her daily expenses. She can spend those money on that. So the maintenance cost will be provided to the petitioner till the time divorce is concluded. Once the divorce is concluded, the maintenance money or the alimony will be stopped, or she will not be entitled to the alimony or maintenance, because the final verdict of the divorce will be provided, and with that she will ultimately get her share of property. Steps of divorce procedure through court proceedings will involve certain steps. Number one is the petitioner or the complainant will file an application for divorce, and once the application is received, the court will then issue a notice that will be served to the other party, who is the defendant, and that defendant will have to provide response. The time frame to provide the response is 21 days. In case within the 21 days the respondent does not provide any reply, then the time period will be extended for more 15 days. In such situation, the summons can be served through several ways. That is, it can be served through emails, or by publishing in a national daily newspaper. Other is the plaintiff or the complainant or the petitioner can himself or herself serve the summons to the defendant. So these are a couple of procedures can be followed while summoning the other party. Once this procedure is completed, the next step would be the response to the petition. After the respondent provides response to the petition, then the court will issue a temporary order, because she may not have her income sources. Because of that, she may not be able to take care of herself or her children, and she cannot run the family. So in order to protect or ensure her right, the court will then issue a temporary order asking the defendant to provide the petitioner, the claimant or the complainant with certain maintenance amount or the alimony, so that she can sustain her life till the time the divorce procedure is completed. Another step is the trial begins. This is the time when the court will order asking or seeking details of the evidence, such as the property details or any other relevant details to the case from each of the parties. Once this is received, then the court will give some time for reconciliation, because court always provides ample time or gives opportunity so that both the spouses can have time to discuss their disputes. For this, the court will then refer the case to the mediation center so that they can reconcile. If they cannot reconcile, if they cannot come to an agreement, in such situation, the court then will ask both the parties to provide details of the property, where both the spouses will have to provide each details of the property, such as any movable or immovable property they may have, or any vehicles they may have, or any jewelries they may have. All these details will have to be listed in the property list, or any debts they have. And they will also have to declare that they have mentioned all the property details and they have not hidden any property whatsoever. They will have to clearly declare the statement. And after this, all the documents are revised, all the evidences are collected, and these are looked into. Once all these documents are reviewed, then the court goes on to issue a final order based on the documents that is provided to the court. If one of the parties is not happy or not satisfied with the decision of the court, then one of the party who is not satisfied can appeal to the higher court. If they are happy or satisfied with whatever decision has been delivered by the court, then the phase will start for the implementation of the decision. Basically, implementation means whether the property has been divided as per the verdict or the order of the court.